accomplished so long as you had a group of organic students who had come up, who had grown up with organic education, because it would sort of have an ameliorating effect on the other kids. But when you had a situation where you didn't have that nucleus of students, and you had 15 kids transferred in here because they couldn't get along anywhere else, and you had 2 or 3 organic students, it was an untenable situation. And there were times when whole classes at the school went to hell. And that's part of the reason for the cutback, and part of the reason that it's difficult now to maintain any continuity at the school is because you don't have a cadre of organic trained teachers or students who've come up with organic education. There's a lot to organic education that doesn't meet the eye. It's not just, well, we don't give grades and we don't give tests and that sort of thing. It's understanding that the conventional ideas about education are pretty goofy, and we don't trust the legislature in Montgomery to run most aspects of our ordinary lives, so why should we trust them to set standards with regard to education? All of us know that you look at 8 kids and you see 8 different people, and people sit around and tell anecdotes about how this kid is different, and this kid is different, and this kid is different, and this one can read, and this one can hit a home run. And yet we have this idea about education that when they get to the first grade, well, they all have to read or write according to a certain level. And it's just bizarre. It's bizarre that nationally we haven't caught on to the fact that people do develop differently, and once that spark hits them, whether they're 3 years old or 8 years old, that inner motivation is stronger than any external source or reward or goal that we can impose upon them. And that was sort of the magic of organic school, and the magic that Marietta Johnson understood, that here you have an idea, and the idea takes care of itself if you have people with the guts and the vision to hold firm to that.
Richard, tell us something about going from high school here and then into college. And was it difficult? What did it mean to you academically?
Well, Dot, I was not someone who burned down the doors of doing well academically at organic. I guess I did well enough, whatever that meant, and it didn't mean much. I never did well on tests. I did terribly on tests.
You mean when you got to college?
No, I mean on SAT and PSAT and national merit, all of which, ACT and that sort of thing, which they were giving at organic while I was there.
That was too bad.
And well, there were a lot of places where you simply could not get in
unless you did.
Unless you did that. And fortunately, I got accepted at Guilford College near Greensboro, North Carolina, which a Quaker school, had a history of organic graduates going there because of the strong Quaker community in Fairhope. And so I came in, and it was nice to come into a small school where you got individual attention. By the same token, I had a lot of difficulties early on because the tests we taken at organic were always sort of like a joke. You were doing it for the mechanics of taking the test, but the idea of taking it seriously to do well never sunk into me.